Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuzz, and welcome to my low risk Revenant guide. So for this guide, we're going to start off with showing you how to basically get to Revenants. So as you see on screen, there's a map and there are two entrances you can take. One is in level 17 wild and one is in level 30. Now you can also use the Fern 3 teleport from your wilderness sword if you have it, and having the elite wilderness diaries is also very useful to increase your drop rate at Revenants and have the Fern 3 dungeon teleport. So that is what I personally use, but here I'm just running to the level 31 entrance just to show you how to get there, and you can use the map I provided as well. Alright, so now we are going to move on to the inventory setup. Now this inventory setup I made so you could risk pretty much as little as possible but be able to survive pretty easily and also be able to, kill revs, yak back your items and stuff like that. So if we start from the top, you're going to want your wilderness sword if you have it. This is what I use to teleport out, so I can teleport out of the Revenant caves above level 30 wilderness. Or below, so this is really nice to have, and you can also use it to tele right back to the Revenant caves. I bring a weapon poison plus, I believe, and I bring that because it just does some extra damage because revs are poisonable, so that is why I bring that. I bring some supreme overloads. You can bring any sort of overloads. You don't need overloads, but I just bring them because I have a lot, and of course they help. Super prayer renewals are really good because you're going to be soul splitting a lot to heal your health back, and I also use turmoil just because I like to kill them as fast as possible. This is optional, but I have a dark bow with mobile, and you can have basically anything with mobile. Like this is a shield bow, so it counts as a shield. And basically, if somebody attacks me like a PKer, I'll put this on. I'll be able to surge more often, and I'll also be able to use defensive abilities, which is really nice for escaping. Super restores, of course. You don't have to bring as many as me, but I like to stay for very long trips. That is why I have all these super restores. Then, of course, you're going to want sailfish because you're going to need some sort of food. You're then going to want to bring a pack yak and winter storage scrolls. This means you can yak back every single item you get, so you will not be risking any of your Revenant items. So this is a very important part of this setup. You just constantly yak back things, and if pkers kill you, they're really going to get nothing but potions and a few sailfish. And then finally, you can get some portents of restoration. You can make these, and what this will do is if you get below a certain amount of health, these will automatically heal your health. So this is nice in case you get attacked because, sometimes you're panicking and you don't know how to eat right, and these can really save your life. So I'd recommend bringing, maybe 2 of these in your inventory just for a safety measure against pkers. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the gear. Now the gear I would recommend is you're of course going to need a Fern 3 bracelet, which this will be able to make it so Revenants are not aggressive towards you. And it also gives you immunity for I think around a minute. So this is useful for killing the Revenant dragon. You can use your immunity on your Fern 3 bracelet and use it to kill the Revenant dragon pretty easily. Next, you'll want a salve amulet, preferably salve amulet E if you have it. This will increase your damage done to undead, which Revenants are, so this is very useful. I bring 2 pieces of Ghost Hunter, which if you don't know, Ghost Hunter you get from killing ghosts or Revenants. You'll probably get some if you go to Revenants, and this will increase your damage by a bit. I believe if you bring 3 pieces, it actually is a much bigger damage boost. I just don't have 3 pieces, but I would definitely recommend bring 3 pieces if you have it. And then I bring a Ring of Luck, I believe. It's not really that useful, but you can also bring Jenica's Ring if you want, because that increases the some of the drops that the revs will give you, because revs drop certain things, like the Hellhound drops elite or hard clues, so you'll get hard clues more often, rune daggers, stuff like that. And then finally, you're going to want a Revenant Bane 2H sword. The reason you'll want this is because it obviously does more damage to Revenants. If you're using mage or range, you can use something like a royal crossbow. You can pick up the hellfire bow. You can use a chaotic staff, something like that, but I definitely find that melee is my personal favorite way to kill revenants, and the Revenant Bane 2H sword is really good whether you're in legacy combat mode or EOC mode. It is just a very, very solid weapon, and I would definitely recommend using the Revenant Bane 2H. So here is what your risk will look like if you're a protecting item and you're using this setup. You're basically only risking potions and food, and of course you don't have to bring as much potions and food as me. You can lose your Ghost Hunter if you have, the Wilderness Sword and Dark Bow like me, but you can get rid of those things and basically protect everything. So this is a really, really nice setup. Very little risk. And finally, something I would recommend is you augment your Revenant Bane 2H sword with the Undead Slayer perk. And what this will do is this will deal 7% additional damage to undead. So of course this works for Revenants, so I definitely recommend getting this perk because it will definitely speed up your kills per hour. Alright, so for killing the revs, you have two options. You can either use EOC or Legacy Combat. I will say EOC is my preferred method. I believe Legacy might be a tiny bit faster, maybe. If you're, not very good at EOC Combat, Legacy might be a tiny bit faster, but if you get attacked while in Legacy Combat, you're almost certainly going to die just because of the fact that the other person's in EOC, which is a huge advantage. And when you're in Legacy Combat, you can't surge, you can't use defensives, you can't use anticipation to get out of stuns. It's just basically a death sentence if you're attacked while you're in Legacy Combat. So I personally would recommend you use Evolution of Combat, and you can copy my action bar down below. It's just the one I'm using for Revolution here. It's nothing special, and you basically just go around and you kill the revs in basically whatever order you want. The only thing I would caution is if you go to kill the Revenant Dragon, he can actually poison you, which can get really annoying. So you can either bring an anti-poison or just not attack the Revenant Dragon. You can, repel the Revenant Dragon with your Ferentry Brace whenever you go to kill it, so you don't take any damage as well. As for drops, you can get some pretty insane drops from revs, which is why I like doing them so much. You can get Stadius Warhammer is the main drop, which is going for I think like 200-300 mil at this point. So it's a really, really nice drop. You can also get like Vesta Spear, Zuriel's, non-corrupt Zuriel's is very good. Zuriel's Staff is pretty expensive, so you can also get statuettes, like Ancient Statuette, I believe sells for 5 mil. But it's really all about hunting that Stadius Warhammer, and those are basically the main drops you're going to be looking for when going to kill Revenants. You can also get Revenant pet drops. I believe there's like 13 Revenant pets, and they're all the different Revenants. So each time you unlock a pet, the drop rate will get higher and higher, and it'll be harder to get, all the way until you unlock the last Revenant pet, which lets you use the Revenant Dragon, which in my opinion is one of the coolest looking pets in the game. So there are a lot of reasons to go and kill Revenants. So now I'm going to talk about getting PK'd. Now, basically, you do not want to panic when you get attacked. You may get TB'd, so you want to pay attention to that to see if you're teleport blocked or not. But the main thing you want to do is you'll probably be attacked by somebody using magic, so you want to put on your Protect from Magic and then basically Freedom or Anticipate if you are stunned, because this will allow for people not to be able to stun you if you Freedom or Anticipate. And then you'll basically want to Surge, and if you have a Dark Bow with Mobile, put that on. And once you get to 30 Wilderness or below 30 Wilderness, I have my Wilderness Sword on my action bar, so I can just press it and teleport out. You'll want to use defensives like Reflect and Revenge if you need to tank people, but if you're able to tele, you can just quickly teleport out. It's really easy to get away from pkers, to be honest, so if you know a little bit what you're doing, you should not die that much, and you should have a pretty easy time killing revs and going for that stat hammer.